Yes, it is most definitely clickbait, but not completely. COVID happened, and as a sound guy who has been yelling at hard rock and metal musicians for years about their songs, I thought it was finally time to give them something to yell at me about. Is this wide-ass lens making everything a little bit weird? I have for a long time been recording and writing music mostly for me, and I wanted to actually make something. So I thought, what better opportunity now that I have to stay home a lot? Maybe. It is an indication of how Nolly, through his products and his knowledge and his expertise, actually helped me to achieve something that I really wanted. So how did I actually do it? Well, as other bedroom hardcore music producers or just music producers in their bedroom, I just made it work. Let's jump in and see how I actually did. I have, of course, divided this into chapters so you can jump around as you want, but you can also watch the whole video.
So let's have a look at what I actually did. The style is, of course, modern hardcore, or punkcore, or angry millennial tries out heavy metal. I chose Getgood drums as my drum kit because it's cheaper and I don't have to deal with a drummer, but also the one that I ended up at, which was this Franken hybrid kit, was actually the ones that gave me the best cymbals, gave me the best off-the-cuff kick. Which I had problems achieving on the other plugins because I'm maybe not good enough. But also, it gave me the snare that I was actually going for, which is a big one, a deep one, the one that kind of hits your gut every time you hear it, the shotgun one. So after that, I messed around with EQ settings. I put on some compressors, and I just used my ears until I went to Nolly's YouTube, saw what he did, and copied it. If it ain't broken, why should I try to fix it? Now, is my settings the same as he had in his videos? Well, not anymore, but it was a good starting point, and it did help me out quite a lot. So the kit that I wanted to use was the Modern and Massive because I like those big drums. But I had to do too much to it to get it to sound good. For the writing process, so I just took another route. My whole idea after I realized that I needed something that did not break my computer was to use one of the One Kid Wonder kits, as they're pretty amazing. And then go back to Modern and Massive. I wanted to use aggressive rock, but it was a little too aggressive for off the cuff for what I actually wanted. So I settled on Modern Fusion, as that kit just does everything, and it has that brass snare, and it has good cymbals. After I saw a video from Misha, I started to combine other kits into the mix to get that, first of all, lower snare from the Ludwig snare on the Modern Massive and a little bit on the P4. And then, of course, lower toms, so everything got a little more punch. Side note, I did change settings constantly to end up at this, so it wasn't like my first try. Let's just have a little listen to how it actually sounds. Oh, and by the way, after I finished, they of course came out with the Architects One Kid Wonder, which does the exact same as I have these 3 other kits doing. So, thank you, Getgood drums. I did end up actually putting it on a few of the songs because I just really like that snare and I really like that really low kick. So I guess it's actually thank you, Getgood drums.
Let's show the street that will corrupt your soul. I leave the fear that dig the deepest soul. I don't like change, allow no point of view. You challenge me and my darkest is
Paris. I'm also a big fan of Will Putney and a lot of the bands that he has actually produced. A lot of those elder millennial that wants to try out punk rock but it's not hard enough, so they try out hardcore people. So I got myself his guitar plugin from STL Tones, which is a really, really good plugin. And I really like the Bogner Überschall amp simulation. But then I went to Neural DSP and I got the Nolly one, and after trying that, actually A/B testing it quite a bit, I just found that Nolly's just did what I wanted it to more. I grew up with the 5150, and even though that the Will Putney had a 5150, this one just sounded better in the mix. So what did I do? Well, I actually listened to a Nolly quote that said, a good guitar tone makes sure you don't have to double track everything to get that massive wall. So, you know, I started fiddling around and no! What I did was I went into the presets menu, I found the one from Nolly that I liked the best, and then, you know, I did do a little bit to it. But basically, that's kind of it.
I will squeeze through your mind, render your blind, leave you with nothing else. Still your deepest thoughts, expose the dark, leave you with nothing. Won't you lies that deceive, the heart will reveal, leave you with nothing. I just stand you left alone, the world around gets dark and cold. I find comfort in the lies of reality. I make chaos when the world burns down. I find excuses to leave my legality. I'm a sanity as far as I can. Small on my time, I think I'm special. World treats me like a broken lamb. I push religion on the people around me. Consequences, I don't give a damn.
I did try Nolly's top-down mixing technique, as a lot of you guys can probably confess to have done as well. And even though I always have it on in all the One Kid Wonder plugins, I kind of found myself not liking it as much here. I really only used an SSL comp on the master. I now have a finished product, well, an almost finished product. I still need to do a little bit of, you know, marketing and video making and all that, but it's not really that important to you. I just want to let you know that more stuff is coming if you want to, you know, follow along.
Hashtag shameful plug.
Use the link in the description.
But what is the conclusion? It is my songs. I am the one who wrote these. It is me playing almost everything, or, you know, my right hand played the drums. And I did mix this and I did master it. But I did all this with a lot of help from Nolly, and I never met the man. So, moving on.
And I'm back out here again. So if you actually want me to go through the whole thing, just leave a comment down below, because it was not as simple as I made it out to be. There was quite a bit more that went into it. Also, if you disagree with me, feel free to leave a comment about it. But please be nice about it. You know, we can disagree, but we don't have to call each other names or stuff like that. You can hear the songs on the links below. I'm not sure at the time this video is coming out that I have actually released it into Spotify and stuff like that, so it might be a SoundCloud thing. So if you like what I do, please subscribe, please leave a thumbs up, please click the notification bell. I don't want to force you into anything, but it does make it simpler. And you know, this has been the Tim Talk Sound Production. See you.